Hello and welcome to the Virtual Hub Learning Series, deep dive technical training for IT pros, developers, and champions. Thank you for joining me for this session, Teams AV Quality Core Concepts. My name is Mary Beth Kirk, and I am a program manager in the Customer Lifecycle Services Group within Teams Engineering. This session is the first in a two-part series. I invite you to join us for Session 2, Teams AV Quality Call Quality Dashboard on Virtual Hub. There you will find key learnings on how to access CQD, what you will and will not find in the tool, key definitions, reporting measures and dimensions, the various reports available in CQD, and much more. In this session, you will learn about the wide variety of tools available for teams to monitor, manage, and maintain your deployment. We will discuss what quality is in Teams and the data and telemetry we have to support that. We will review the role of the quality champion and why it's so important to have that role at your company. Lastly, we will talk about optimizing your environment for Teams and implementing your own quality methodology. Let's get started by talking about the tools for Teams. We often get questions from customers about where and how to view usage reporting in Teams. While this session is focused on tools related to quality and reliability, we know that usage reports are important and very popular. Analytics and reports will help you create different types of reports to get insights and information about Teams usage. Located in the Teams Admin Center under Analytics and Reports, you can run reports based on a 7, 30, or 90-day date range. The Apps Usage Reports provide information about which apps users are using in Teams. PSTN reports provide information about users who are blocked from making PSTN calls. You will also find an overview of audio conferencing and calling activities, including the license used for calls, total minutes available, used minutes, etc. For our direct routing customers, we provide reporting on calling activity. Teams device usage will provide information about how users connect to Teams, be it through Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, etc. Teams live event usage will provide the activity overview for live events hosted by your organization. Teams usage reports provide an abundance of information, including the number of active users, number of channels, active guests if enabled, number of replies, reactions, and app mentions, and much more. Finally, the Teams User Activity Report gives insights into the types of activities that users perform in Teams. For example, how many users are using ad hoc meetings or making one-to-one calls? How many meetings has a Teams user organized? How many users have participated in a Teams meeting? To access reports, you must be a global admin in Microsoft 365 or Office 365, or a Teams Service Admin, Teams Communication Admin, or have the Skype for Business admin role. Another important tool for admins is the M365 Message Center, located under the Health section. Here you will find important messages from Microsoft about your subscriptions, including new and changed features, plan maintenance, and other important announcements. Shifting now to a more troubleshooting mindset, you need to be familiar with the Service Health Dashboard. Here you can view the health of your Microsoft services, including Teams, by looking for active incidents or advisories that might be affecting your tenant and track them to resolution. If you're experiencing an issue with M365 services and don't see it listed, tell us about it by selecting Report an Issue and completing a short form. You can also sign up for email notifications of new incidents that affect your tenant under Preferences. You can use the Microsoft 365 Admin app on your mobile device to view both the Message Center and Service Health Dashboard and set up push notifications to stay current. Call Analytics is built into the Teams Admin Center and is your primary tool for user-specific investigations. Here you will find detailed information about calls and meetings for each user in Teams. It includes information about devices, what was the user's machine name, what CPU or OS version was their machine on, what audio or video devices were in use. You'll see network information including client subnet, IP address, MAC address, etc. Connectivity data. Was this user connected via a wired or wireless connection? And if connected to wireless, how was their signal strength? And of course, call quality data for both the inbound and outbound streams that include average and max values for jitter, packet loss, and round trip. Any of these can be a factor in poor call or meeting quality. It is important to understand that Microsoft classifies calls as poor based on 5 network metrics. We'll go into that more in this presentation. But they're based on the average value for the duration of the call. If at any time during the call, jitter, packet loss, round trip time, NMOS, or concealed sample ratio exceed the recommended threshold, then the call will be marked as poor. Note, bursty network events may affect quality, but not occur long enough to affect the overall average duration of the call. You will want to investigate this further by looking at the max values and comparing the delta between the average and max for these key metrics. An example is an hour-long call may experience a few seconds of poor quality, but that is not enough to skew the overall average. By also reviewing max packet loss, max jitter, max round trip time, for instance, you may further your investigation into a problem that briefly occurred during the call. These call records are available within 15 minutes from the end of a call, and data is available for the last 30 days. CQD, or the Call Quality Dashboard, is also accessible through the Teams Admin Center. It is used to improve call quality and reliability at an organizational-wide level. It provides deep troubleshooting and analytics for both Skype for Business Online and Teams. Admins can analyze trends across their deployment by looking at things like quality by region, focusing investigations on a particular region, building, or city. By looking at call reliability, setup and drop failures that may affect a user's ability to join or maintain a call. Client versions, keeping the Skype for Business Online and Teams client up to date to provide current fixes and features. Device versions, ensuring devices and drivers are kept up to date. Endpoints, are certified devices in use allowing for optimal experience. And PII and EUII data, drilling into not just where the issues occurred, but who was affected. Data is available for up to 12 months, which enhances your ability to track trends over time. Call Quality Dashboard uses a near real-time or NRT data feed, so call records are available within 30 minutes from the end of a call. An important resource for you to bookmark is our Quality of Experience Review Guide located at aka.ms/QER Guide. There you will find a detailed guide for Teams admins and support engineers to help you develop a process for monitoring and maintaining calling and meeting quality. Many of the core concepts found in this session are documented there. In addition to that, I encourage you to download and explore our CQD Web UI templates. You can import templates into your detailed reports section for more robust reporting. Our team has created 2 curated templates with over 500 reports to get you started on your journey to monitoring and improving quality and reliability. I encourage you to join us for part 2 in this series to dive deeper into how to use CQD. The last tool I will highlight today is Power BI Connector for CQD. Here we are able to analyze and report CQD data using Power BI in new and exciting ways. Once you set up your Power BI reports, you can quickly and easily add them as a tab in a Teams channel for easy access for the whole team. With proper permissions and licensing, you can also publish Power BI reports to users who do not have access to CQD. This can be particularly useful for managers and business decision makers. Power BI Connector uses Direct Query, which expands your ability to build visualizations on very large data sets. There are some limitations to Direct Query, so I encourage you to do your homework and visit us for future sessions at Teams Chalk Talks, where we will dive deeper into Power BI. To get started today, we have published 7 Power BI templates. The help desk report is designed to let you drill down on a specific user to investigate root cause of a poor quality issue. Location-enhanced reports are designed for site-specific investigation and will require a building data file to maximize your reporting experience. The mobile device report includes quality, reliability, rate my call, and more data specific to mobile device users. Direct routing gives you insights into specific PSTN calls that are going through direct routing. Summary contains 9 new reports for quality reliability with rolling dates. Drill into quality by location with an easy-to-use interactive map. This also has a dependency on the building mapping file. Teams utilization shows how many users in your organization are using Teams and how much. User feedback shows rate my call data that is provided by users at the end of a Teams call with verbatim feedback if provided. This is the 5-star rating feature at the end of a call or meeting. Anything rated 2 stars or less is considered poor and will trigger a prompt for additional feedback. Now let's talk about what quality is. It seems like a simple question, but it's actually rather complex. Quality is defined by a combination of service metrics and user experience. Both need to be optimal to deliver a quality service. Fortunately, we have telemetry to analyze and report on both. From a service metrics perspective, we focus on network conditions like jitter, packet loss, and round trip time that can affect overall quality. We have classifiers in our telemetry for audio, video, and sharing that allow for deeper investigations. We also have reliability data for media drop and setup failures, endpoint data to ensure users are using optimized devices, and connection data that can reveal if a user is connected to a weak network. Client data is also important, and you are able to validate client versions and drivers to ensure they are up to date. User experience and user perception are equally important. Questions like, can I join a call or meeting consistently and successfully? Once joined, can I maintain that connection without getting dropped? Do I have an optimized device so my audio sounds clear? Is my video clear? Have I been trained properly and understand how to use the tool? All of these questions affect the user experience and need to be considered a critical component of running a quality service. User rate my call feedback provided by the user should be utilized to get a better understanding of where they are struggling and to aid your investigations. Reporting on the top users who have rated calls as poor can lead to good proactive outreach. You will see in call analytics and CQD that streams can be classified as good or poor. What metrics does Microsoft use to make this determination? Today, it is based on 5 network metrics and the associated threshold. If any one of these metrics exceeds its recommended threshold, then the service will mark the stream as poor. It may exceed more than one, which is often the case, but it only takes one. Jitter. This is the average change in delay between successive packets. Teams can adapt to some levels of jitter through buffering. It's only when the jitter exceeds the buffering that a participant notices the effects of jitter. Jitter in excess of 30 milliseconds will cause the call to be classified as poor. Packet loss. This is often defined as the percentage of packets that are lost. Packet loss directly affects audio quality, from small individual lost packets that have almost no impact to back-to-back burst losses that cause audio to cut out completely. Packet loss in excess of 10% will cause the call to be classified as poor. Round trip time. This is the time it takes to get an IP packet from point A to point B and back to point A. This network propagation delay is tied to the physical distance between 2 points and the speed of light, and includes additional overhead taken by the various devices in the network path. Round trip time in excess of 500 milliseconds will cause the call to be classified as poor. The last 2 are usually a result of one of the first 3 conditions being over threshold. In the future, we will be retiring these 2 classifiers, so please follow up with us in Docs or at Teams Chalk Talks to get the latest. Other network performance metrics that must be considered are latency, packet loss, jitter, and packet reorder from the client to the Microsoft Edge and from the customer edge to the Microsoft Edge. Don't be confused by the term Microsoft Edge. It is defined as the perimeter network and not the Skype for Business Edge server role. It is important to egress Teams traffic to the Microsoft network as quickly as possible. Additional packet loss, latency, jitter, or packet reorder introduced by things like VPN, proxies, deep packet inspection, etc., will affect quality. Allowing clients to route directly to the Microsoft network is optimal. You can use the Office 365 Network Performance tool to analyze an endpoint's connection to the Microsoft Edge. The Skype for Business and Teams Network Assessment tool provides the ability to perform a single test of network performance and network connectivity to help determine how well the network is performing for Teams calls. We talked about how calls are classified as good or poor, but what about the calls that are marked as unclassified? This can be frustrating, so let me explain the two most common reasons for calls to be marked as unclassified. The first is if there is little to no packet utilization. A great example of this is when a user joins a meeting, does a quick introduction, and then remains on mute for the rest of the call. This does not create any packets, and thus there is not enough to classify. The second reason for unclassified is very short calls, usually less than 60 seconds, where averages can't be computed. For example, "Hey Sally, I'll meet you downstairs in 5 minutes for lunch." Click, unclassified. You can investigate calls to validate these as possible options if necessary, but I wanted to make some clarifications on common causes. Now let's spend a couple of minutes talking about the quality champion role. The quality champion takes ownership of call quality, reliability, and the user experience. They are essentially the point person for all things related to quality reliability and are comfortable using Microsoft's diagnostic tools like CQD, Call Analytics, Network Assessment Tool, Power BI, etc. Champions are essential to driving ownership and accountability for the user experience. Companies with champions have higher degrees of success in teams. First and foremost, it is crucial to have an executive sponsor for the work you do to help drive remediation. A good executive sponsor is a valuable asset if you need to escalate an issue within the organization in order to make necessary changes. The quality champion is passionate about both the user experience and the technical aspect of Teams. They possess the technical skills to troubleshoot issues and drive action. They are the go-to person for any Teams issues and take point on proactive and reactive issues. They monitor and report overall quality and user experience to the sponsor and service owners on a regular cadence. Now let's dig into how you can optimize for quality. Proper planning and operations management will ensure that users have a consistent and reliable experience. These 5 general principles will help ensure you are on the path to success. Number 1, deploying QoS or quality of service. Ensuring that Teams traffic is prioritized in low bandwidth scenarios is highly valuable. Deploying quads where it makes sense and marking both inbound and outbound packets will ensure that Teams media is prioritized over other workloads. Number 2 and number 3 are similar and targeted at making sure your client has the most optimal path to the service. Establishing direct connections to the Microsoft Edge, bypassing proxies, egressing via split tunneling will significantly improve quality. We have very specific documentation on VPN split tunneling, and several well-known VPN vendors have also published documentation on how to implement split tunneling for Teams on their devices. Number 4 seems very basic, but it may be time to check your configuration again. Today we require 3 subnet ranges and 4 ports to be open for Teams. 3 subnet ranges and 4 ports. A third subnet range was added at the early part of 2020, so if you have not reviewed this for a while, I highly recommend you reconfirm your configuration. And number 5, using certified phones and devices will provide the most optimal user experience. We have telemetry to investigate what devices are in use and potentially how those devices are performing. Keeping client versions up to date is also very important. For Skype for Business Online customers, there is a minimum client version required for Skype for Business in Islands mode, so you will want to continue to track that. Teams clients now auto-update, but if there's ever any doubt about performance on a particular client version, review the telemetry and see if there's a trend with that version. As you're developing your quality methodology, we recommend you focus on a few key health indicators, all of which have telemetry available in Call Analytics, CQD, and Power BI. First, setup failures. A user's ability to start a call, join a meeting, initiate video, or initiate screen sharing. Second, drop failures. The call or share has started, but suddenly drops unexpectedly. Audio quality. How does the audio sound? Is it clear or is it jittery, delayed, or robotic sounding? Some other key areas to focus ongoing monitoring are TCP usage. Ensure that UDP ports are open and that Teams media is not falling back to TCP connections. Due to the retransmission nature of TCP, poor network conditions will result in a poor user experience. VPN usage. As we already discussed, hairpinning Teams media through VPN appliances will add latency and affect quality. Lastly, ongoing updates to client version and drivers will help maintain high quality. So based on the things you learned today, start implementing your quality methodology. Begin to analyze trends by focusing on core KHIs. Identify areas exceeding recommended targets, investigate and remediate. Lead with actionable data and let it tell the story to your stakeholders. Create a clear, goal-oriented action plan for both proactive and reactive tasks. Identify the right stakeholders and drive remediation. Be the champion. Track your changes and show measurable progress by showing improvement through the data. Show your impact towards those predefined goals. And finally, operationalize your process and create a regular cadence for data analysis and reporting. In this session, we learned how to identify the tools for teams. We discussed how to define quality and what constitutes a quality service. We talked about the quality champion role and the importance of executive sponsorship. And we reviewed the key pillars of optimizing quality and implementing a quality methodology in your organization. A quick reminder that you will want to follow up with the second session in this series, Teams AV Quality Call Quality Dashboard. To continue building on this knowledge, we invite you to join us for free live instructor-led sessions at aka.ms/Teams Chalk Talks. Microsoft Teams Engineering presents several sessions per week, and we would love to continue this conversation and journey with you. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us today. We welcome your feedback about this course and any other content that you would like to see in the future. If you have questions about any of this content, please email my team directly at teamsit@microsoft.com. We hope you are enjoying your virtual hub experience, and we thank you for coming.